So here we go. Homework 2K, number 1. So this is what you're asked, if it converges or diverges. So what you need to do, I would suggest you start off with a basic comparison test. Oops, no 2 there. Sorry about that. And then you say, okay, if I take that 3 off, that would have more on the denominator. And I would be left with 2n over n squared. So that gives you 2 over n. So 2 over n diverges by the p-test. So since it's the larger one, BCT fails. And you don't need to write that in your answer, but you know it does. So now you need to go do limit comparison test, which means you take the limit as n goes to infinity, 2n over n squared plus 3, times the reciprocal of this, n over 2. And by taking highest powers, you get 2n squared over 2n squared. That's 1. And so since that's a number bigger than 0, they both do the same thing. So therefore, 2n over n squared plus 3 diverges also by the limit comparison test. Okay, so that's number 1. So number 2 was the summation of 2 root n to the 4th minus 3. Again, it's easy to pull off one number, so I would think of starting with a basic comparison test. It's not okay to do that little squiggly line of what you're doing. You have to rewrite this so that you're making an inequality. So if I take off that 3, this would be smaller because this has more in the denominator. So this would give me 2 over n to the 5 halves. So then you need to say, oh, this sum converges by p-test. Okay, so then the smaller converging is not good. Again, BCT fails. So now it's time to do the limit comparison test. So the limit is n goes to infinity, 2 root n to the 4th minus 3. It has to be, one of them has to be the original, and then you multiply by the reciprocal of this one. And so that gives me n goes to infinity, 2n to the 4th power, all over 2n to the 4th power. Look at that. So that gives me 1 bigger than 0. They both do the same thing. So therefore, this converges also by LCT. So none of the problems that you presented are correct. So I would advise that you look over or rewatch the videos and submit your homework again. I'm not going to give you credit for what you wrote.